Welcome back to Half-Life 2 and the third video in my thoughts series. Yeah, I still don't have a better name for it. So it's just my thoughts. Yeah, Half-Life 2. From the games that I've played on my channel, I think this is probably the most legendary and probably one of the most well-known. Like if you have played PC games, you probably know about this. Of course, this game is starting to be so old that there might be some people that haven't actually ever played it. But now with the anniversary update, it's better time than ever to play the game. But yeah, again, with the 8-point scale at the beginning and my thoughts at the end, my scattered thoughts, if I had any. I think I now have some notes actually that I came up with when I was playing and editing. But yeah, let's start with the first thing on my list. Knowing your audience. I think Valve actually again is a pretty much a master in this, like that they know their audience. They are pretty good at that, I would say. So yeah, they don't have lore bombs or weird cultural references or stupid humor. They have some pretty funny moments and they use them well, I think. Yeah, they're pretty good with that, and they do know their audience really well. What games do they want to do, and stuff like that. Yeah, there's not gonna be many negative things on this video, but yeah, the flow of the game, of course, it's pretty damn amazing. I don't think there is like, well, I could personally criticize that the end of the main game of Half-Life 2 kind of drags on after the part where you get back to the City 17. That kind of drags on and it becomes this like, there's like 10 guys shooting at you with pulse guns and you die in like 2 seconds, and you know, like it feels like the gun balance is way off. But that might just be me, so I don't know. Other than that, the pacing is really great, I think. Or the flow of the game. Story pacing, I think, is pretty good as well. Of course, Half-Life 2 is like, and Half-Life 1 as well, and other Valve games. Valve kind of makes the game's mechanics first and then the story around it. So while there is an interesting story, it kind of always feels like it's not on the foreground. And this might be just because it's an older game as well. Nowadays games lean more on the story, but there is an interesting story and it's well paced, I think. There's always something going on. I think I like the episodes more than the main game because you have this NPC with you most of the time. In the base game, they just like abandon you, like I said during the videos. So yeah, I think it's much better in the story pacing is much better in the episodes. Of course, the episodes are also much more tight-knit in that sense. Well, no contradictions, yeah, well, the game is recognizable, there's no doubt about it. Like, I would say that most PC players know when they see Half-Life. I don't know of any lore issues, retcons, or anything like that happening in the game. Yeah, I don't think there is actually much retcon in my way of retconning, so I can't comment on that. I don't think there is really. Okay, yeah, I don't think. The wow moments. Well, yeah, the vistas are really good even for an old game, and while this is not an open world game, there are like things like you like to explore. Sometimes, most of the time, it's actually kind of like you going through, you know, it's linear first-person shooter, so there is not like that many vistas or anything like that. It's kind of happening on the moment, but there is like some like cool stuff to find and things you can see, and then you're like, oh, I want to go there, especially during the vehicle sequences. Visual literacy, well, the environmental storytelling, like this is actually funny that this is like the third game in a row where the environmental storytelling is like really good. There is like lots of like hidden things and stuff that has happened, like especially in the sequences where there is those head crab shellings have happened, you know, where there's like zombies and stuff. Like there's usually like stuff there that you can see, and it's like fights and stuff like that has happened there, and you can see that it has happened. I don't know. They do tell a story. I guess that's what I was getting to. Yeah. It's pretty good in that sense. Some environments, I guess, are a little bit bland, but this is again like a very old game, so they can't populate every area with like miscellaneous items and stuff like that. They had to use what they had pretty efficiently, and I think they did that. And again, third game that I'm doing this video for, and I think it succeeds very well in keeping it simple. Half-Life 2 is like it's very, very immersive. There is very minimal HUD. Well, there's more HUD than there is like in Far Cry 2 or Resident Evil 0, but there's still very minimal amount of it. And of course you don't have like in-game menus or anything like that you have in Resident Evil, for example, or many games. Everything happens on your screen, you know, weapon select and stuff like that. And you don't have objectives because, you know, it's a linear shooter. So there is no visual overload, I think, in that sense. Was there other stuff? Well, there's no side quests, of course, in this game. There's no nodes or terminals. The lore is kind of dry in that sense. It's just you getting through areas and then having like exposition. It's kind of like the old way of storytelling in any first-person shooters. Different things for different people. Well, of course, this is a linear shooter. If you don't like linear shooters, I don't know. In a way, even when this game is so old, I would say that if you haven't played an FPS shooter, Half-Life 2 might be a good place to start, you know? It might get you into it. But yeah, basically it's a linear shooter, so there is no multiple ways of playing or anything like that in it. Yeah, well, that's basically again in 10 minutes basically all I had to say. So after the first video, these are actually starting to become like more concise when I don't have to like repeat everything where I got this list of 8 points from and so on. But I had some notes. Yeah, I have written down here like some thoughts I had. Yeah, in Half-Life you have like moments of this like intensity and then like calm. Like there's like very actiony sequences and then there's like very chill moments. Like the vehicle moments are, for example, very chill. I think that's kind of like why I didn't like the main game's ending that much, because it's just non-stop action. But there's actually a little bit of chill there in between. And I think it's quite unique way of pacing it. Well, I guess games like Metro do have this like chill and intense separation as well. Not all games do that though. And I think it fits the game, like this post-apocalyptic feeling of the game quite well. But there's like lots of silent moments. Of course, not all games do need silent moments, but this game really benefits from it. The level design is like iconic, I would say. There's like some really recognizable and well-known levels, I think. It's a linear first-person shooter from like 20 years ago, so it's very tight. You know, it's not a very long game. It took me like 16 hours or something like that to finish everything. 20 hours, a little bit over, I guess, to finish everything, according to Steam, at least. And that's including the both of the episodes, so it's a very tight experience in that sense. But it's interesting in that sense that, like, when you think about it, like the water hazard to the buggy scene, what happens in between? You have like Ravenholm and stuff like that. It feels kind of like a journey, but it's like, what, hour and a half of gameplay, so it's kind of interesting in that sense that it creates this, like, it feels longer than it is, kind of, at least for me. The background of G-Man and the Wardigons and everything like that, or the backstory, that's very like cryptic and not very spelled out, I think. You have to piece a lot of the story together, but it's an interesting story. I didn't even pay too much attention to it when I played the game first time, but now I was like thinking more about it, and saw G-Man as a different kind of character than before. Yeah, and like I said in the videos, episode 1 and 2, I think had way better balancing of the weapons. You get them much slower, even though the episodes, well, you get them a little bit slower at least. And then you don't have like pulse gun wielding enemies all the time. You know, it's more SMG and shotguns and stuff like. So it feels much more balanced. I have written reveal moments here. I don't know what I meant with that, so I'm not gonna go into that. I guess I meant like there is like some scenes like when you first go into Ravenholm and then you're like, whoa. It's kind of like one of those whoa moments or reveal moments, like Bethesda does, or the walkout moment, I guess. So yeah, I think it's good on that, in that sense. Yeah, pretty much that's it, I think. Amazing game. First time I finally played it on PC. With the anniversary update. Totally worth it. You can probably get it for next to nothing on the Steam sale currently. If you don't already have it, like many people probably have. Yeah. This was actually my first time, and the background you can see me playing Lost Coast as well. I have seen it on YouTube a decade or more ago. I have never played it though, because I haven't played this game on PC. So this was my first time playing through Lost Coast. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
You did it, lad. Come on with me to St. Olga. We'll celebrate this victory with a feast. I hope you like leeches. Hey, where you going? You're getting fuzzy around the edges. Well, I guess you got other places to be. Nice knowing ya.